Hey, it's Natalie with the Think This Up Academy. You are more likely familiar with mission statements, right? So if you have a company or if you work for a company, more likely there is a sentence that summarizes whatever is the mission of the organization and what is the vision of the organization, what are the values of the organization. And it's really important to do that to know where we're going, and it helps making decision going from a place of of vision and mission and values, as opposed to start with just behaviors and actions. So if we start with the bigger picture, and it's the same thing in our life, when you have a goal, an objective, when you want to be your best, we need to figure out where you want to go first. It's the first step of all the systems and processes that I use. We need to know, hey, what do you want? Then we chunk it down. So we go from there, from the vision, from what we want. And you might have done that before. Then you set up specific goals, you set up what strategies you're going to use to do that, and then you create a specific action plan. Why doesn't that work? It sounds so logic. It sounds so great. It's because all of these are statements. They are sentences. You cannot have a vision. It's not a thing that you put in a box and you have it in a container. You have to be it. You have to be your vision. If you say, for example, that our vision in our corporation is to have the best customer service, you cannot have good customer service. You need to demonstrate and be good customer service providers, right? So how do we do that? How do we make this work? So yes, I can complain a little bit about the system and say, well, there's something that's missing, but I need to provide to you exactly what is the piece that's missing. We need to figure out what is holding you back. So what is in your way? So that's what we need to do. We need to figure out exactly what is in the way of you not being able to be that. So we can have all the goals that we want and the mission and the vision and knowing our value, but if we are not our value, if we are not our mission, it's because there's something holding us back. So we need to figure out what is in our way. Fear, for example, might be holding you back from doing something that you know you can. You know, very often you're like, I don't know. I know I can, but whenever I apply for this promotion, or whenever I try to demonstrate to the older leaders in our organization, or whenever I try to find a new client, I freeze. And I know better. I know how to be at my best. And somehow I'm just not. So sometimes it can be fear. It can be a limiting belief. It can be a bad habit. So how do you face what is holding you back? You have to chunk it down, just like Parmesan cheese. Yeah. Have you ever tried to take a block of Parmesan cheese and take a bite out of it? It's hard. It's not easy. And have you even tried with a knife to cut a piece of Parmesan cheese? That's even not as easy. But if you have the right tool, and if you use a cheese grater, it's so much easier to get those smaller little chunks. So it identify everything that's in the way of your vision, of your goal, of you being at your best. And how do you do that? Find your pet peeves. Find the things that bother you. Usually you'd be on the right path. List them all and then chunk them down and say, okay, because of this thing, it's holding me back. So then I'm going to chunk it down. What is one action that I can do today to start feeling a little bit better about that? How do I break all the little chunk down and pull them out one by one? So chunk it down, and then you can start being your statement. You can start feeling absolutely amazing, and you can you can stop just saying your promise statement. You can start feeling it and being it, and people around you will absolutely notice when you are true to your values, because there will be nothing holding you back.